For today's quick money tip, let's discuss how to close the cash gap in business. Now, the cash gap is the period between when money has exited the company and payments have entered the company. Now, this period between can be very stressful. The company can feel financially strapped for cash. The goal for you as the CEO is to close the cash gap to the smallest amount of days possible. Now, in order to close the cash gap, you have to be familiar and understand how the cash gap occurs in business. So when you're thinking about the cash gap, it first begins when you receive a new client or you start to work with a client. That's normally on day one. Right? For most business owners, they're not invoicing the client until the service has been done. The challenge with this is that it opens up the cash gap and it often extends it. Let me show you how. When you first start working with a client, as you see here, when you get to day 15 or whatever day, you may have payroll that you have to process, right? For your team. You're processing payroll, but you have yet to receive money into your business. This is when the cash gap starts. And then it takes you another 15 days for the purpose of this example to complete the project or provide the service in completion to that client. Normally, again, that's when you're billing the client. Your cash gap further extends because you're sending an invoice, and for most businesses, the invoice is due within 30 days. Well, you're giving the clients 30 days to pay. You now have already worked 15 to 30 days, and now the cash gap further extends. Let's say within 30 days, the client is not or has not paid that invoice. It takes them 45 days, 60 days, in some cases, 70 days before they pay their invoice. The cash gap further extends. How? Because you're still operating your business. You're still paying expenses. You're still paying your staff, and yet you have not received money into the business. Now, in order to close the cash gap, the couple of things that you want to do is one, you want to review your payment terms. Why do you have invoices that's due upon or due in 30 days? Your invoices should be due upon receipt. Number two, speak with your vendors. Can you extend the time in which you pay them? Can you break down your payments to your vendors? Or three, instead of waiting to the end of the product is done or the end of the service has been provided or the end of the project, how about you break down the payment plans with your clients? They pay a portion up front, they pay a portion in the middle, and they pay the remaining portion at the end. You can even give them some type of incentive if they pay in full and upfront, or you can require that they pay upfront and you provide the service or products to them at a set time. Your goal as the CEO, again, is to close the cash gap in your business. When you close the cash gap, it will position your company to remain cash flow positive consistently. This is Octavia Conner. Until next time, say yes to profits. Toodles.